Hello, welcome back to Zekism Wrestling. And so, I've just watched SmackDown. I've just seen the final of the Last Time Is Now tournament. And congratulations to Gunther for winning. I think the internet isn't going to share my sentiments based on what I've seen so far. Now look, there's a lot of issues at play here. Let's start with Gunther winning. I love Gunther. I think he's one of the best wrestlers on the planet. I think he is not just a worthy choice, he is a great choice to face John Cena in his last match. So regardless of recent bias, I think he was predictably everyone's pick to win the tournament anyway, because it's Gunther. He fits the bill. He's going to play off the heel face dynamic because everyone's going to be cheering for John Cena in that place. So on paper, regardless of what people are saying and have said about Gunther winning, it's predictable, that it's a boring pick. And look, anyone who watches his matches, watch the match tonight. It was a phenomenal match. It really was a great match between LA Knight and Gunther. Really fast paced, really had a real big fight feel that both men really wanted to win. So the story they told in the ring was brilliant tonight, and that's what Gunther brings. He brings, let's be honest, excellent wrestling matches to the WWE. He does. And dare I say, is he a better wrestler on paper than LA Knight? Probably. And I love LA Knight as well, so we'll get to him in a bit. But yeah, as for Gunther, I think it's a congratulations to Gunther, and I think it's going to be a good match. It is. It's going to be probably a better match with Gunther in it. Like I said, he's going to play off that heel face dynamic with John Cena. John Cena is going to get cheered from the rafters, and I think that's a big factor as to why he won. Now we'll get to LA Knight. LA Knight, I think, is not being treated well by WWE. I would agree with the fan sentiments there. I think he could and should be doing so much more for them. He is, I mean, clearly the only factor they going against him is his age, but I mean, I would look at Gunther and say, well, it's the same thing, isn't it? It's the same issue. There does seem to be some sort of ceiling there for LA Knight, seemingly, and it's not even if they're trading off it or they're trying to tell a story with it. There does seem to be some sort of hindrance or some sort of hesitation to pull the plug on LA Knight, and it seemed like they were going to do it a year or two ago when he was ironically tagging with John Cena. But yeah, I think it seemingly is an issue now, and I hate agreeing with sort of fans wanting what they want and not getting what they want, therefore they're going to kick up their heels and stuff. But I think there was a lot of fan fervor for this. They were like, if you're not going to give LA Knight anything, at least give him this. And I can see why fans are annoyed by, and I think this is just fans are annoyed that LA Knight isn't being treated well enough in their eyes. And it's a difficult line to tread. And I think, yeah, WWE creative has not been great all year. It really hasn't. And this is coming from a real shill for WWE. The creative hasn't been great this year. It really hasn't. A real drop ball throughout the year with creative. Not everything, but I think on the whole, there's been more not good than good. And I think you have to, even the most fervent WWE fan has to admit, it could and should have been better this year. Real drop balls, injuries aside, because you can't blame them for injuries. I'm talking the moments that should have landed haven't. I'm not even going to condemn them for the Cena heel turn, because I think that was on paper something everyone was saying was really great when they did it. It was just, I don't think they anticipated the positive response that Cena got. I think that's ultimately what they did. Of course, lackluster creative energy, the Rock's interference, that didn't help things. But I think on the whole, creative has been not great this year. One of those creative drop balls has been LA Knight. LA Knight, I mean, he even said tonight in commentary, Michael Cole said he's had more matches than anyone else this year, so he's the WWE MVP, if you like, for this calendar year, with little to no reward. I mean, he had a US title run or two over the last 12 months. That's it. And it's not all about championships, no, but they don't use him either. There's no stories going on with him. There was loosely a story with Jey Uso, but that went nowhere. Similar with Punk, again, went nowhere. He wasn't involved in War Games, even though he was involved in that storyline for a good period during the summer, to go nowhere. So I agree with fans' sentiments about LA Knight's frustrations, and I think it's weird that WWE really do. I hate again to sort of say, look, this is what you should be doing, WWE, because obviously they know what they're doing. Well, you would hope, but clearly there's money there with LA Knight. I mean, clearly he's a merch seller because he's in all the adverts, and I think it's weird to me they pulled the trigger on Jey Uso before they did LA Knight. It is weird. And now the year's out, we can start to revise the year. And I thought this might be a little carrot to give to fans of LA Knight and say, well, maybe this is going to be the thing, but it isn't to be. I thought he before and during the tournament even he had 2 unnamed opponents. One was Zack Ryder, and the other was anyway. I can't. I'm tired. It's 3 a.m. here in the UK, and I think it's a very weird turn of events with LA Knight, and I think WWE they're messing with the fans a lot this year, through their wallets, through patience. I'm all for long-term storytelling. I really am, and I'm not one of those people who goes online and sort of moans about what they want as opposed to what they didn't get. But there's too many drop balls. There's too many lazy creative shows that we have to sit through, which we didn't have to for the last 2.5 years under Triple H. It has dropped off this year, and they need to get back to that. And they need to actually get back to gaining the fans' trust again, which they did have when Triple H took over. He was putting on good shows. He was putting on good shows between the period of WrestlePalooza and, well, a week or 2 before Survivor Series War Games. Before Crown Jewel and after Crown Jewel, those shows were well put together, were interesting. In fact, tonight's SmackDown was pretty good as well, to be fair. But at the same time, it's this sort of thing. You go, Gunther was a really predictable winner, and nothing against Gunther. Like I said, I'm a big fan, but I think WWE are treading on the toes of fans at this point. Maybe deliberately, but I would defend this one to a certain extent as well. So I have very mixed feelings, as you can probably tell, between Gunther winning and LA Knight winning. But Gunther is a worthy winner. He will put on a banger match with Cena. The place will be cheering from the rafters for John Cena. So in which case, you probably think it's probably the cleverer move, as much as it's going to knock people off. But at the same time, it's like it's another nail in the coffin of LA Knight, potentially, figuratively, without getting too super serious about it. But anyway, those are my thoughts. I think it's a shame for LA Knight. I really don't see where they go from here, bar making him win the Royal Rumble, and who is going to back him to do that at this point. And maybe that's what they want you to think, but something inside is telling me I've seen enough evidence to see. Even they didn't see the rise of LA Knight's popularity, and it's it's maybe he's a pain in the backside backstage. I don't know, but anyway, it is weird. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Please leave a like and subscribe on the channel, and I'll speak to you next time. Thank you so much. Congratulations to Gunther. Commiserations, LA Knight. Bye bye.